Good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful morning. Hope y'all are having a great day so far. I'm having an okay morning. Middle of the night, pivot text, hey, I'm not working. And I'm here at the pivot. But check this out. Pivot says alignment fault, right? This has been happening now for the past few days. Every time at night, or a couple times throughout the day, pivot says alignment fault. And all I go in, let me click escape right here. It says safety error. See that? But then I just go reverse, and then it's like, okay, yeah, I'll drive again. So there's nothing wrong, but it thinks there's something wrong. So if it happens again throughout the day, I don't want to have it puddling here at one spot for too long. I'm actually going to change this percent right here. Our rate A 100. Oh no, actually I can't do that. Oh, I messed it up. Rate A 80. Can't have this pivot faster than 80% due to some center drive gear ratio issue. If I have it too fast, then one tower drives way too fast and all the other ones that can't keep up. It's a whole thing. But it's been puddling water here at the one spot for a few hours, so I'm gonna move it just a little bit towards not getting even more water, like just get a little bit out of that zone. But today's a different video than just pivots. We're gonna go swat some wheat. I was just gonna stop by here on my way. I'm gonna hook on the diesel tank. The swatter needs diesel and def, so I came here to the barn anyway, and this pivot was having issues, so I figured it's stop by here and turn it back on. Later on today, if it does turn off again, I'm gonna call the irrigation company, and they'll come out here and see if they can diagnose the problem and actually fix it for good, because this is getting very annoying. It's done it like 10 times the past couple of days. I'm very, very tired of it. Man, that looks cool. Came here to check up on this pivot and it's straight up steaming. That's pretty. All right, let's get this thing serviced and then let's head to the field. Wow, there's even some frost buildup this morning. Interesting. All right, we are greased and ready to go. And look, we get the new swatter this time around. We have 2 of them now, and this one needed to go to John Deere for some code that it had, so we got lucked out and they brought this one back from the south. So we get the newer one this year. We'll see how we like this one compared to the other one. I haven't ridden it much. I've only done about 1 field with it, but that was alfalfa. Haven't done any wheat yet, so this will be the first wheat that we cut with the swather. So I grabbed me a couple of water bottles, and also, as you know, with wheat, we always have lots of coyotes, so I'm gonna carry this guy with me. Man, it feels weird being in this thing. All these buttons and everything, it's all still new. I haven't driven this swather a lot, so this is gonna be a learning curve for the first couple of hours. Maybe just an hour. It probably won't take me that long, but still. All right, let's get after it. Looking behind me, wondering how good of a job it's doing. Now you can tell we had a little bit of damage from wind. Kind of was making it lay over quite a bit. But it is what it is now. We're swathing it. It leaves it a little bit dirty behind. as you can tell from my cousin was driving here yesterday. He finished quite a few acres here yesterday, but it kind of leaves maybe like a couple of spots where it leaves a couple of inches more just because it's laying over, kind of funny, but it's as good as what we're gonna get it for how damaging that previous wind was. It was already pretty heavy, and it was already laying over a little bit just because of how heavy it was, but then wind came and blew it over even more. I am definitely surprised at how well it's still cutting for how much it's laid over. I thought for sure it was going to be way messier, way dirtier of a job than what it is, but surprisingly it works pretty good. We'll see if I'll have more issues throughout the day, but so far working pretty good. And I gotta say, I don't know if it's just the year or the cab is, or if the year, if the fields are just not that rough, but this cab is like smooth. It's nice compared to the other. The other one, you're shaking the entire time it's rough. With this new cab suspension, it's actually quite nice. I like it. It's comfortable in here. My pew isn't shaking, flying around everywhere, so it's nicely tucked there away. I like that. I hope I find at least a coyote or two today. But wheat looks good. There's more wheat on the field than what I thought there was. That's also a plus. I don't know. The wheat this year it looked very funny. It was off. It was very wavy up and down. It didn't grow uniform. I don't know what was going on with it. I fertilized it, watered it really good. Now towards the end, now it's smooth. Now it looks good. But to start, it looked very funny. It wasn't very uniform, and I don't know why. I've yet to figure that out why. Maybe it's just the soil type of year, maybe. I don't know, but looks good. We're doing a good job. Hopefully we'll knock the rest of this field out today. That's the plan anyway. It's so quiet in this cab. Compared to the other swather, you don't hear anything in this cab. Almost makes you question if the header is even on sometimes. Laying completely flat, but somehow it still looks good behind the swather. I don't like it. Headed back to the pad here. My cousin's out here spraying, and he's filling up the tank with water, and it's overfilling. Too much water! You don't need that much. There you go. Now you can stop making a mess. Let's go outside. I realized I haven't shown y'all the wheat outside yet. So yeah, that's nice and flat, and it doesn't look like there's much wheat here, but then you look behind the swather and it's like, wow, that's a pretty good sized swath right there. It's nice. And it's actually a very good thing that we are cutting this, because when you look at a lot of this wheat, look at that, it's actually snapped, it's cracked. There's a lot of them out here that are actually completely loose. This one's from the swather, but let's see, I'll find a spot right here. Yeah, right here, all these, they're already snapped, so they're gonna start drying out here in a little bit, and that's not good. Like they're pretty much already crimped. That's crazy. So yeah, it's pretty crazy how it doesn't look like there's much wheat there, but oh no, there's a lot of wheat. That's gonna make quite a few bales. We're cutting very nice and low to the ground, so we shouldn't have lots of regrowth. That I am very excited for. All right, that's the outdoors. Let's get back inside and get back at it. likes to jump up and down like crazy. It'll go from anywhere from 40 up to like 80% load the entire time. Kind of crazy. We're nearing the end. Just a little sliver left. Doing the last pass, and sadly it's leaving a little streak there on that side. A little bit inconvenient, you can hardly tell, but that what it did behind me, it's not worth it to go back over it, but I can already tell it gets wider here at the end because we didn't use GPS at the end, so now it didn't come out perfectly with GPS. So yeah, you can tell we're already leaving some. That I'm gonna have to definitely make another pass and go over it again, because that's a little too dirty for me. This is gonna be the last of it. Well, we're done here. I'm gonna put this guy in road gear, and I'm gonna end up bringing this to the barn. My cousin, he was spraying here, so he took my truck back to the barn where his truck originally was. So I'm gonna, since this field is done and we're not gonna swath anything till like, I don't know, maybe at least a week and a half later from now, something like that. This is the only field that was ready right now. We planted this one a lot earlier, so that's why it was ready. The rest of it's still gonna take at least a week, minimum a week to 2 weeks. So we'll get after it later. I'm gonna park this guy in the barn because if we're not gonna be using it for a while, why have it sit outside, especially over here? Might as well just bring it to the barn, park it inside, keep it a little bit newer. It only has like 200 and something hours on it, so it's still brand new. So might as well save the hours a little bit. I like that this thing goes a lot faster. It can go 24, but I don't know, the handle might be stuck a little bit. It just, if you hold it over forward, then it'll go up to 24. But yeah, driving down the road still sucks because it's so dang sensitive, and any slight movement wants to turn it completely the opposite direction. But there are settings in there. I just was barely messing with them. It's a lot better now than when it was earlier. You can turn down your sensitivity for when you're in gear 2. I did that, now it's a lot better than before. I have it down to, I think, like sensitivity 1 instead of 10 where it was at. So it's a lot better than before, but still quite sensitive. Let us turn on some lights in here. There we go. Looks like I'll have to move a few things out the way. And you know, right before we had all this crazy 70-mile-an-hour gusts, I cleaned this barn. Now, as you can tell, there's just fine powder everywhere. Isn't it just lovely? Don't you just love when you get 70-mile-an-hour gusts? It's great. I'm just gonna double check to make sure we fit the other swather in the barn. Looks like we're clear on that side. And oh, that's gonna barely cut it. You sure I can't open this door more? I think that's it, unless there's something blocking it on that side, which I don't think there is. No, it doesn't look like it. Can only go that far, but looks like it should barely work. I can move over to this side a little bit more. Yeah, that'll work. I guess this header might be just a hair wider, because the other swap to fit in here, I think a lot easier than this, but I think these shields on the side might be a little bit fatter. They kind of slant outward that way maybe a little bit. Maybe that's why, but I'll squeeze her in here. Never mind, buddy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's okay. You cannot fit in the barn. The other swaths are fit in here better than that. We're too tight. I really aimed forward and I touched both doors. Don't want to break anything today. I guess you're sitting outside for like 2 weeks. Oh well. Well, that's gonna be it for this video. A little bummer that I can't fit the swather in the barn, but what are you gonna do, right? But that's gonna be it for this video. As always, I do appreciate y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all guys in the next one.